I have a problem with fuel pressure drop, guys. Long crank time, and I got my fuel pressure gauge here. But here's the deal. I need to split this system in half. I want to check up to this point versus after this point. Okay, so what I need to do is build some type of apparatus that will allow such. Now I can screw my gauge into here, but I need to shut this off and measure my fuel pressure and see if it dropped. But I need something to go in here to stop flow right here so I can measure it and see if it dropped. That way if it dropped, I will know for sure if the fuel pump is bleeding down or there's a leak backwards, as opposed to knowing if one of the injectors leaking down. All right, hold tight. You guys, I don't have an end, so I'm about to destroy this fuel rail. This is off a junky 3.6 Pentastar. Guys, I'm out of time. This is a short video, so y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna do a long video. I'm gonna let y'all know how this turned out. Stay tuned. Alrighty guys, my original plan didn't work. Guys, I don't think I'm getting fuel pressure drop off, okay? Now, the car is running right now 55 PSI. Now, when I shut it off, pressure drops fairly quickly. It's one of those cases, I don't have adapters that I need, but I need to find out if I'm leaking past their injectors. In fact, let me turn the car off. Let me turn it off and see. Let me see what the reading is first. All right, we're gonna do this real time. All right, the car is on. There you go. So this thing is leaking past the fuel pump or either the injectors. Now the fuel pump has been replaced. Okay, yeah, it's leaking fairly quick. Oh my goodness. Now see, here's the thing. I need something to split this off. I don't know if any of you guys know what I'm talking about. I need my gauge in line between this so I can shut it off and bypass the receiving fuel. So I need a gauge right here. I need to fill it up, close that off. That way I can isolate the tank from the injector rail, but I don't have such equipment. So here's what I'm gonna do, old school. Any of you old school mechanics out there, y'all know about this. I'm gonna take the rail off out of the car. Don't look that difficult. And hold it up and pressurize it. Maybe an injector is dropping, leaking fuel, just drip, drip, drip. Now another way you can remove the spark plugs and see if any of them wet, but I just got through running the car, so chances of that is slim. Although, now, if there's an injector leaking, you know what? It's easy enough to do that. I'm gonna pull each spark plug and see if one of them wet. Yeah, see, I'm all the way down. Oh my goodness, yeah. It's not going past. See, I can isolate the tank if I had a shutoff valve. I can turn off right here, but I don't. I'm gonna have to make one because I don't know of any place you can buy one. A fuel line that I can splice in between, I can shut it off. That way, after I build pressure, I can shut it off, and then I can tell if I'm losing pressure through the rail. I really think I'm losing pressure at the rail. Easy thing first, I'm gonna yank these spark plugs out and see if any of them wet. All right, if one of them wet, that means one of these injectors is leaking, causing my drop in pressure. Remember, the fuel pump has been replaced, so we're gonna suspect that we're not leaking down past the tank. Or, which one y'all rather do? Let's take the rail out. Okay, because either way, I need to know if an injector leaking. Let's take the damn rail out and hold it up, pressurize it, and see if any of the injectors leaking. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Alright guys, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the key on so the fuel pump will rise, so the fuel pressure will rise. So what we want to see from there is if any of these injectors are leaking down. Here's my gauge. Here's my gauge right here. So I'm gonna turn the key on. That's gonna prime the pump up to maybe 50 PSI. Then we're gonna look for a leaking down injector. This is an old school way that we had to do when we have a choice. All right, let's turn the key on. Well, Y'all see that? I saw a drip right here. Yes. Look at that. Y'all got to get a closer look at that. Guys, that is why I'm losing fuel pressure right there. Alright, now the pressure has dropped because of those drips. But y'all see that drip right there? Yes. I found it. It's the old school way, guys. We literally, so I'm thinking spark plug number 4 could be wet. Now we could have assumed this by merely taking out plug number 4, but why go through the assumption when you can? This was fairly easy. Now if this was a V6, it wouldn't have been so easy, guys. All right, so don't get it twisted. In fact, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my scan tool and actuate the fuel pump so it'll stay on. All right, these injectors are not supposed to open unless commanded by the PCM. That's what these connectors are for. Okay, these are duty cycle. All right, they are activated via duty cycle ground. In other words, see, there's only 2 wires going per injector to each injector. One is a constant 12 volt from the ASD relay, which is in here. The other ground, the PCM activate that ground in order to fire off an injector. All right, so from an electrical side of things, that's the way it works. But hold tight. I want to actuate. I want to hook my scan tool up and just merely actuate the fuel pump, so we can make sure, so we can see if any of the other ones is leaking, because it takes quite a bit of pressure to get them to leak down. Hold tight. All right, guys, here we are. You can see my scan tool. I'm looking for fuel pump. We're gonna actuate the fuel pump. We don't want to talk. We're gonna leave it straight on. We don't want to tog it. And as you can see now, what is that? 0 pounds basically. Let's hit start. Fuel pump is running. Y'all see that? I'm up to pressure now. Take this, hold it up. All right, guys, I'm seeing wetness all over cylinder 2 and cylinder 4. Those are the ones that are leaking down. You know what, guys? Because of the mileage, I'm going to recommend all 4 injectors. Okay, so this is how it goes on the car. It's upright like that. Fuel is dripping down on cylinder 4, so I'm going to recommend all 4 injectors. I don't want to play around with this thing. Look, yeah, that just spilled out right there. So I got, you know what, man? Now, how do you can't? I guess still got fuel pressure. As far as the rail go, no, it's leaking out of the rail is steel, guys. They haven't went to the plastic rails yet on this model. I can't remember what model this is, but I'm leaking fuel past number 2 and number 4 injector. All right, so we're gonna get all 4. Look, yep, I'm getting 4 injectors, guys. That will stop my low fuel pressure, or that will stop my fuel pressure loss, and she will not have long crank time anymore. That's all I have, man. I hope y'all got some out of this. Stay tuned.